Hi there, Pam Herman here. Welcome to my video all about edification. We're going to be talking for the next couple of minutes about one of the most misunderstood skills that you should have in your toolbox. The concept of edification is really quite simple. The reality is that within our warm market, we have little to no credibility. Why is that? Because our friends and family have seen us make some disastrous choices. And so when we approach them, when we approach our warm market and we start talking about our business and what it is that we're doing and our passions and who it is we're trying to help, the reality is that they're looking at us through a filter based on what they know about you from past experience, okay? How does edification play a role with your warm market? And we're going to talk about cold market in just a moment as it relates to edification. But right now, when we're talking about friends and family, edification is really critical because it helps you establish, in a matter of a couple of minutes, credibility for them so that they will see you through a different set of lenses. So what is edification? Edification is really a tool that we use primarily through three-way calls. So when you have a prospect for your business, let's say that you're new to the business and you've got somebody that's interested in learning more about your products or your company's business opportunity. What you immediately want to do is bring in your sponsor or your upline and introduce your prospect to them. And the reason why is that that individual is armed with all kinds of information and they have the skill and experience to navigate the conversation through high-yielding questions and a call to action. And what exactly do you want this individual to do? What action do you want them to take at the end of the meeting or the telephone call? Okay? Edification is a tool of introduction in creating credibility. So here would be an example. Sally, I'd like you to meet Rhonda. Rhonda has been with our company for 5 years and she very quickly has elevated herself to the top of the marketing plan. She's well respected within our company. She is really my point person when it comes to all information relating to this business. And I wanted to introduce Rhonda. I would like you to introduce you to Sally because Sally's been a dear friend of mine for many years. She has expressed some interest in learning more about the science behind our products. And so if you could just help her understand a little bit more about what it is we do, that would be really helpful. And then your job, after you edify both individuals, is to zip it up and don't say word one. You have handed your upline the credibility, you've handed them the microphone, let them facilitate the phone call. Your job is simply to provide the introduction, establish credibility, and then recede and listen. It's very important in three-way calls that you are listening to what your upline is saying. Listen to key words. Start to emulate those word choices as you move further in your skill development. Because someday you will be that person of authority that your downline will be tapping into. So it's critical that you pattern word choices and tones and you learn how to ask appropriate questions, how to overcome objections and ask for the business. That's ultimately what we are looking to do with the three-way call. Now, getting back to edification, here's where you establish credibility through this process. As soon as your upline is done talking to your prospect about all of the questions that they have and addressing their needs, they are going to toss the credibility back to you. In RI training, we call this the Boomerang Effect. And what this is designed to do is to have your upline reestablish credibility with you, with your prospect. And how they do that is they say, okay, Sally, now that you've heard all about the company's products and our business opportunity, I really want to say to you that Pam is a phenomenal person to align yourself with. And a big part of success in this industry is who it is that we hitch our wagon to. Pam will be able to take you where you want to go. She's learning everything from me, and then she's going to impart that knowledge down to you. So this is how we work together as a team. So can you see how we're structuring a dynamic of a chain of authority. This is something that we do a lot in the corporate world. There is a chain of authority, and you are to operate within that chain and really not to hopscotch over individuals that are right above us. And the reason, much of it is political, but for the most part, it's for the dissemination of information so that we keep everything streamlining down in a very strategic way. Now, that's warm market. Let's talk a little bit about cold market. It's really important for a prospect to understand who you are as a person. What is the team that they are considering coming into? Who is the upline? What are their strengths? What is their success? What is their credibility? Edification establishes the platform for them understanding all of those parts, because that's going to factor into their decision making. So as you start working further away from your warm market and working more with cold market, it's critical that you are demonstrating for a prospect what type of a team environment they will be stepping into. That is done through edification and three-way calls. Now, here's a little exercise for you. What I'd like you to do is to write down a very brief bio, your own bio, that establishes who you are, where have you been, what is it that you're working toward, what are your strengths, and why would an individual want to hitch their wagon to you? It should be very, very clear and concise. Do a few edits. I'd like you to suggest to your upline or your sideline or whoever it is that you're going to be pulling into a three-way call that you each write a bio on your own and then swap them. And I want you to practice it with each other. This is really, really important. We don't want to practice when we have a prospect on the line. What we want to do is practice edifying offline. Okay? That's your homework. That's your task. It's simple to do, highly effective. And you know what? Let me give you one other little tidbit here. If you are an orphan, meaning you don't have a sponsor or an upline that you can turn to with support for a three-way call, I implore you to reach out to a sideline buddy, someone who is a trusted mentor in your business, maybe even outside of your direct team, to support you in this or to provide mutual support. It's important that you find somebody and that you implement this. This is probably the #1 task that you want to teach a brand new distributor, is how to edify you so that when they bring a prospect to the table, you are all firing on all cylinders and you're bringing that prospect to a place of making a decision. Ultimately, that's what's going to drive your business. So let's get started with edification. Good luck with this. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at theparagoneffect.com. My email is pamela@theparagoneffect.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Good luck.